How concerned are you about LeBron's groin injury?
I'm not really concerned. The Lakers have really nothing to fight for at this point in time. And when you have an older superstar like LeBron, it's about rest. Because one thing you know is when this postseason comes, there will be no rest. He is going to be playing 45 minutes a night. Because one thing we are 100% sure is the Laker offense struggles when he's not on the floor. Now, have they improved? Is Anthony Davis' offensive game stepped up? We saw his explosion earlier in the bubble. But ultimately, they need him 100%. They want to make sure that he doesn't have a tweak. He doesn't have an ankle. Is his groin probably sore? Who knows? But ultimately, I think we're going to start to see a lot more rest for some of these superstars before they head in to the postseason.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What most people have to understand is a growing injury is not you sit out one game and it feels better. A real growing injury takes a long time. So I'm not necessarily saying this is a growing injury. I'm erring more on the side of what Richard's saying. I think this is just going to be rest, knowing that the Lakers haven't necessarily figured out this bubble situation yet. So they know one thing for certain is LeBron's going to have to be superhuman like he's always been. So like Rich said, he's going to be playing, 43, 45 minutes a night. And now's the time to get rest because once those playoffs start soon, there's going to be absolutely no rest for Bron.
Yeah, I think you guys are probably right that it's nothing too serious at this moment. I'd be surprised if they just pulled it out of nowhere, though. Like, I'm sure if he had to play, if this was a playoff game, he would play. But he's getting older. Like, we have to acknowledge that last year was the first time that we saw LeBron even seem slightly close to human and that he could get injured and he could miss some significant time. So I lean on the side of saying that it's probably not a big deal. But I would say that I'd be shocked in any year past that LeBron would have any injury that would impact his play, but not after we saw last year. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but I think it's more concerning than it's been in the past. And you guys know that we all agree that they haven't gotten to that rhythm that they want to be yet. And both of you guys have taught me today that there's not going to be any rounds off in the West. So he needs to be playing. Like, they need to be at tip-top shape in order to go against Portland. So maybe it's weighing between rest and being fine-tuned, and it seems like they wouldn't let him rest if they thought that they had everything, or they shouldn't let him rest if they don't feel like they have everything kind of back on the tracks, right?
Well, I think one thing...
but this is the thing.
Right now it's okay that he's...
Well, I think
he's resting right now, which is all good. He doesn't need to be playing.
All right,
what about when these important games do come into play?
Yeah.
Yes, Richard.
Well, if it was just... If they just said rest, they would probably take heat because the NBA has been off for 4 months. Everyone's been resting. So if the Lakers just came out and said LeBron is resting tonight, that probably would have been more headlines. So they can just say it's an existing injury, which happens a lot of time, as Richard can speak to. We can have sprained our ankle 8 months ago, and if we take a night off, it could be because of an old sprained ankle. So like I said, there's probably a little bit of an issue there, but I think it was more just rest. And if they would have said rest after the everyone had almost 5 months off, they would have been questioning, like, why is he resting? He needs to be playing. So they said they put the, a nagging, growing, and that's going to shut everybody up.
Matt, you are so true. Like, we're all trying to see. Yeah, we're all trying to say the exact same thing.
What is that?
Okay, well, that's good news then.
Yes.
We have to start
Whoever
raising
wants to take it. You got it.
Okay, yeah.
No, I was just saying there was a lot there. Go ahead. There was a lot of things that were being said. There was a lot of things that were being said that weren't necessarily like what Matt said. We all know the truth. We know the truth. Bron is fine. Bron is fine. He might have a little this, might have that, but they're going to be overly cautious. These games mean absolutely nothing. But you know who they mean something to? They mean something to the fans. They mean something to the NBA, and they mean something to ESPN. But ultimately, to the Lakers, these games mean nothing. So they're going to protect their asset at all costs. And look, I'm not saying he's done. We're not saying that he's done for the rest of the bubble, but you might see him maybe one more time.
And I also just think that the Lakers really need to find, we know what we're going to get from Bron. Like Rich touched on early in the show, we know what we're going to get from all of our stars come these playoffs. They're all going to be their amazing selves, but they get paid a lot of money for why the teams are in positions they are because of the stars. But I think what the Lakers' issues are, they really need to find that third and fourth option. I love the way Kyle Kuzma's been playing. I think I speak for everyone when we thought he was going to be that consistent third option. in the bubble, he's been that consistent third option. You also get Caruso going. You need to get Danny Green as hot as he can be because, like I said, although Avery Bradley wasn't a star, he was a key piece of that team, someone who was always going to take the best offensive player and someone who's been in big games who can knock big shots down. So I think more than anything, it's just trying to find out what else they have going on out there because they had some good chemistry and good rhythm during the regular season, but it hasn't been the same in the bubble. So like I said, you know what you're going to get from Bron, you know what you're going to get from AD. What are you going to get from the supporting cast?
Yeah, that's interesting because I hadn't considered that. I just only thought like they need to get everything on track right now, so they might need LeBron to play because the first round is going to be tough. But the point you're bringing up, Matt, is like this is a good opportunity. Having LeBron on the bench, like LeBron's not going to be able to play every minute in the playoffs. And there are going to be certain moments where they're going to have to hit big shots and they're going to have big possessions where the ball's going to have to be in Caruso's hands or in Kuzma's hands or somebody else. And this is an opportunity right now to try those different lineups, to give people different opportunities to be the chief playmaker. Because while Rondo's injury was a big deal and Avery Bradley staying out of the bubble was a big deal, I think it's not necessarily for the defense that they provide, but those guys are also LeBron's backup in a sense. Like when LeBron's playing the point guard and running the offense, he's essentially a point guard. And if you don't have anybody else who has the experience or you can trust doing that, that puts a lot more pressure on LeBron. So figuring out if you have someone else who can run the offense, I think helps in building the confidence of these guys in these big situations. I think is an important thing that they can try to do in these games that are for everybody else mean something, but for the Lakers are frankly close to exhibitions.
Wait, really quickly. Domonique, how much basketball do you watch, man? I am actually impressed with you, and I have never said that to you in the 2 years we've worked together. I've never said that. I am so impressed. I'm gonna stop sending you my notes, man, so you can stop cheating off my homework. But ultimately, Domonique is correct, man.
Basketball is pretty fun to watch, guys.
Okay, yeah. So is football. So I hope you guys figure this thing out, right? I hope you guys figure this thing out.
No, we're not as smart. We're not as smart as you can see. We do things a little differently.
We all know that. Why do you think I said I was impressed with you right now? But to tell you the truth, it's like you're right. You want LeBron James healthy and ready to go. What you don't want him to do is because they have had a long layoff.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.